Well, it's
Oh, yeah,
like
to that point.
well, the thing for
Yeah.
God of War
It's,
was I didn't even like I didn't watch anything but the first reveal like all those E3s ago, so I had no idea what I was going in for. And my God, does that game deliver in like every way possible? The graphics, the story, just everything. Oh
It's a shame the frame rate's locked at like 30 though, because
yeah.
it kind of sucks. Just like, oh,
the only thing I hate about it is fighting the most difficult boss.
Uh,
This just pisses me off. It's the Valkyrie Queen.
no.
I came up against the Valkyrie, got my shit pushed in and reloaded.
Uh,
I was like, nope.
because I just had to learn the patterns because I killed like 5 of them on hard, but after that I couldn't do it, and then I just and even on the easiest difficulty, the Valkyrie Queen kept killing me no matter what.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I know, Mitch. You mentioned like the frame rate. What are you playing on PS4 or like PS4 Pro?
Bro.
Okay, because if you do the performance mode, it'll unlock the frame rate and it fluctuates between like I don't know, like 45 and 60, and it's real
See,
smooth.
I've got it on performance, but it doesn't look 60 to me.
Yeah, no,
And I
it jumps up
like,
there, but it never hits it constantly. So yeah,
because I had it on resolution and I was like, oh, that looks nice. Let's see what the frame rate's like. And it's like, oh my god, it looked disgusting on the other one.
yeah,
Just like stutter. It's like, ugh.
yep.
Yeah, I chose performance.
It helps as well because like the PS4 Pro, like no matter what, it tries to take off because of the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this game's quite heavy on it.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know. I've been bouncing between that and I'm replaying the damn Tomb Raider games, getting hyped for the new one. I don't even know why. They're all right games. I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna play them again.
There's a third one coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just announced it like a couple days ago.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Mitch. You got to get with the hype.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be like one of the old shitty Lara Croft ones. I keep
No,
thinking.
it's a full sequel
So-
based on the Mayan apocalypse. Is what they're
Here's the
saying.
thing, though. So it's like it deals with like the whole Mayan thing, and it's like that's like my favorite thing in history. I've been to Mexico a couple times just to walk the ruins and stuff. But the pitch for the game is literally see her become the Tomb Raider. I was like, wasn't this the pitch for the last two games you put out? Like,
Yep.
how long can this take? Like, just give her the damn the dual guns. What even makes her a Tomb Raider at this point? I don't know.
I don't know. I find it funny in the first games they give her the guns, and the second game they take it away. It's
Right.
like, but where's my guns though?
Yeah,
I own those bastards. Ew.
they're iconic. Damn it.
Yeah. So I mean, the red pickaxe is kind of cool, but can I have my guns?
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Yeah. Anybody else also play Sea of Thieves? Sea of Thieves? Anybody? No. Okay.
No, I ain't touching that game.
Oh, I bought it.
I'll wait. I'll wait till there's content and
So like No Man's Sky, you're gonna be waiting like 2 years or so.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
didn't they say like the Kraken wasn't even like fully rendered? It's just tentacles.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a fun game to watch.
Oh, it
Like,
is.
If you get like a let's play and there's like 5 of them playing, it's really fun to watch. But there's no way I'm touching that. Like, unless it's free.
Oh. God damn. So, in case people didn't know, this is episode 350 of the CBC podcast. Whew.
I'm shocked we're keeping count still.
Yeah, well, I just have a thing because I have to remember which ones they are and what time we did a podcast on, so I jotted it all down. It was like, oh, it's the 350th line. Then I looked at it, I was like, oh, wow, that's shocking right there. Yep, so nothing has changed, as people can quite literally tell by these openings. Although something's changed on Patreon, you guys can go get Thor Ragnarok audio commentary. Yeah, that's out. That was a entertaining movie. We had a lot of good insight, and a lot of times where we're quiet, just watching the amazingness unfold. So
yep.
It's a good movie.
we let you interact with us by talking when we're not talking. That was the plan right there.
I imagine it works. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. So, thanks for joining us, everybody. Of course, I'm your host, Armin. You guys can find me at Arminis and also at Comic Book Cast, and I'm here with Mitch.
So you can find me at Mitch692.
And also Tristan.
Hey, you can catch me at Control Breakers, and it's finally summer.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We're still in spring.
Oh, for me, it's summer.
I had to pull out my
I'm
AC yesterday. Like, it got too hot. I was like, nope, I'm dying over here.
It's like that California's got its own little biodome going
But
over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it skips over winter and goes straight to summer.
so like I made the worst imaginable mistake possible going into summer. I want to replay a bunch of PS2 games, right? So I went out and I got the classic original PS3, like the George Foreman fat grill that has a PS2
Oh,
inside of it.
Yep,
yeah.
I've still got that.
So
That bad boy still there.
So that thing, I swapped in like a 500 gig hard drive and whatever, just so I can like load it up. And I cleaned it out through and through, but I forgot how loud that thing is. Like I was playing this survival horror game called Obscure. It's like $100 game. It was super rare on PS2. That thing revs up so loud, like it literally brought the temperature in my room up like 4 degrees. It's ridiculous.
Christ.
Yeah, it's...
How's that thing like not on fire yet?
That's what I was thinking too. So I attached a bunch of extra USB fans to it. I was like, I'm gonna cool this thing. It's ridiculous.
I put the bacon on it. It just like.
That's why I was the George Foreman.
Oh dear.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna get into the show, I guess, right now. Deadpool's future as a franchise. It's not all bad. Don't start worrying yet. But it seems like even Ryan Reynolds thinks it's going to be a little different than what we're used to. Essentially, what he said is, once you kind of do the whole team-up thing with Deadpool, it's really the only way you can really go. Like,
Yeah.
and I kind of agree with that, It's like, well, where are you going to take it? Because now he has X-Force and everything there. So, like, you can't really take him back to a loner. So, what are you going to do?
I mean, it's a strange one because you could go like, well, it's no different to the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like you have the Avengers movies, and then you have like Iron Man 3 or Ant-Man, and
Yep.
I would say Civil War, but that's kind of an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But you can do it. I think for Deadpool's in a different situation where he is like the driving force of that universe, really at the minute. So it's kind of hard to separate him, but I don't know. You could there's got to be some reason you come up with. It's Deadpool. You can say whatever you want.
He gets trapped somewhere else, or I don't know, other people are made invisible by magic or something, or yeah, you could do something stupid. That's Deadpool, right? It's like,
yeah,
I think that what they're trying to say here though is, look, we're just trying to buy ourselves into a I guess a direction that the franchise might go in. It's like, look, if the acquisition happens and it happens before we start production of Deadpool 3, which it guaranteed will, you could still see these 3 movies, like Deadpool 1, 2, and X-Force, as a complete trilogy. I think that's kind of what they're trying to do, because there seems to be some interesting stuff where I've talked to people and they don't know if Deadpool is going to necessarily remain the Deadpool that we're seeing right now. So it's like,
No, I can see them going either way with that. I can see them keeping Ryan Reynolds and going in that direction. I can see them. I don't know if they recast Ryan Reynolds,
right? See,
or like make him like a PG-13 Deadpool, because
Right.
Deadpool works in whatever like certificate a film's got.
Yep.
It doesn't. People like will go, oh, it has to be ours. Like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Like, he can work in anything. You just got to be like clever about it.
Look, do you even see how Bob Iger talked about it the next day after the acquisition was announced? He was like, "Oh, Deadpool's going to remain. We want to bring him into the MCU." Like, he openly said what their plans are for Deadpool, and people keep forgetting that. It's like, no, Deadpool within a couple years of the acquisition is going to be part of the Marvel universe and the MCU. And
I can see Deadpool being the first one.
Yep, yeah, I would honestly, that would be a great cameo and stuff. But the bigger thing is, it's like, is Ryan Reynolds going to ask for like a Robert Downey sized paycheck, and Disney's just going to be like, well, you ain't Robert Downey, and we can recast Deadpool. Like, he's popular enough now. We did it with Spider-Man, and that was big. So, like,
I think it depends on how much Deadpool and X-Force make.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't be like, look, my one movie made this much, but my sequel didn't make as much. Like, you can't. Yeah, he has to know where he stands. And Deadpool's looking like the tracking for opening weekend's pretty high. It's higher than what I thought it was going to be.
It's high, but it's like not higher than the first movie, which is what's rather interesting. Because some of the tracking sites are like, well, it's going to fall under.
I thought it was looking at 150, and the first one made 130.
Yeah, some people are still revising theirs though as a little bit lower, so we don't really know. I think, yeah, it's interesting. I think it'll do the numbers of the first, but does it do that thing where it falls short, like, or just barely passes, like Guardians 2 maybe? Because I don't think it has the I don't think it has the like name value and cachet of something like Avengers or Iron Man, even where
Yeah.
it's that big.
It's in a tricky spot because Infinity Wars obviously it's gonna just steamroll through that weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of Deadpool's in a really shitty spot because families and kids aren't gonna see Deadpool.
Yep.
They're obviously gonna go see Infinity War. So obviously it all depends on how the legs on Infinity War, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a tricky one for that, but. You know, if this one does well and then X-Force does well, which I imagine X-Force will, he could be in a position to be like, look, I want all the money, but...
Yeah. I mean, I think regardless of what happens, I think Deadpool continues on, but just what way he continues on, that's going to be the interesting part, and that's the part I think many people want to know, and I could see them keeping it the way it is, if they want to, but if they see a better opportunity with I don't know, like a soft reboot maybe or something, I could see them going that way too, because, there's a lot of stuff that's happening.
It'd be so easy. It'd be so easy to soft reboot Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, you can have Ryan Reynolds in the first, act of the movie, and then he ends up in the MCU, and it's someone else.
Right.
Someone that looks maybe a bit kiddier. And even though Ryan Reynolds looks like he's 12 anyway, so it's kind of hard for that. But, you can kind of play about with that. Like, give Ryan a beard, so, he's in the gritty X-Men universe. And then when he gets to the MCU, he's clean shaven. You can do, just play about with it like that.
Yeah. Hell, you could even, have Cable be like, fine, we're going to go on that time travel adventure you've always wanted to. And they get trapped in the MCU, and Doctor Strange is like, I'm not letting you leave now. It's like, all right, well, I guess. It's like, you could do so much with it, and I think Deadpool would be a perfect bridge to the X-Men universe, quite honestly. Well,
it depends how they want to handle the X-Men.
True.
You're not going to get what Fox has done.
No.
That is dead. That is going to die. Whether you like it or not, so. But I don't know. It's a difficult one, really. But...
Just the biggest guarantee is this franchise is going forward. It's not stopping. It's never stopping, so don't worry about that. But it's going to change in some way, shape, or form in the next couple of years. So, that's the future, I guess. But
so you at least 3 years minimum left. So
they can pull out at least another 2 movies.
I mean, the rate they shoot, yeah. They do Deadpool in 6 months, and it's out 3 months later. So
it's pretty impressive. And X-Force is shooting this fall, so feasibly it'll be done shooting by summer for fall of next year release, which is pretty damn impressive, Yeah. They almost got the MCU Disney style of shooting. They're like, shoot it a year from release, and it'll be done. It's like, all right, you guys have figured your stuff out.
It helps us to really low budgets. They haven't really got to worry about CG. So
true, they don't have to re-CG entire sets because they destroyed them. Apocalypse and what was the other movie that's shooting? Dark Phoenix. That's the one. Into the DC News Roundup. Now, I made this a roundup because there's just DC stuff to talk about, but once again, we're in that weird situation where it's like, yeah, there's stuff to talk about, but how much of it is going to come to pass? So the first thing we're going to open up is the whole DC Universe, which was just confirmed as their all-in DC streaming service for Warner Brothers. This is interesting because Titans is going to be like the flagship show, going along with a adult-oriented themed Harley Quinn animated series, Young Justice Season 3 or Outsiders, and then also confirmed as James Wan's Swamp Thing. So,
for the Harley Quinn animated series, is it going to be the new Stripperella?
Probably, because didn't they say it was going to be Margot Robbie doing the voice?
Yep.
So it probably is going to be walking, talking chlamydia on the screen.
Yeah. Well, here's how I see this. So clearly they got 4 shows greenlit. So they got a year's worth of content, because how they can do it is starting this, let's say, they said it's launching this fall. So feasibly, let's say starting November, right? They could launch Titans, and it's going to be 10 episodes. By the 7th episode, they can launch an animated series, and that goes on. By the time that's out, at 15th episode, they can do Swamp Thing. So they'll have a show all year round that overlaps with something else. But my thing is was it smart to make this a DC streaming service and not a Warner Brothers streaming service? Because I feel like they're going to have both, because Warner Brothers is in talks of developing their own as well, because they understand that that's the future. So it's like, are you just going to... Because is there enough DC content to warrant a subscription here?
I mean, personally, for me, no. Like, Titans, those set photos have put me off that I do not give a shit about that show.
Yeah.
Unless I see something that looks like the Titans, then I might get into it.
For the DC streaming service, are they going to add other stuff to it, or is it just the TV shows?
So it'll be all the shows that have currently ever existed and aired will slowly get added on. So like Smallville.
So what's the point of CW?
Well, see, that's the weird one, because they won't talk about those, but they're talking about the older ones like Smallville and the old Flash and like the Aquaman pilot and stuff, so that'll be on there. But
I can see some people wanting to get this for those old shows, you know, like Smallville, even if they add in like, you know, Batman the animated series or Superman the animated series.
Well, see, those will be on there, exactly. So it's like, that's a cool get, and like, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get the service when it comes out. I'm going to want to, like, play around and just see what they have to offer, maybe catch up on some stuff that I haven't seen, and it's like, that's a good thing, but the content on it has to warrant this. Like, when Disney launches their service a couple months after this, you're going to have a Star Wars show that's coming within the launch window, you're going to have, you know, a brand new Marvel show, and you're going to have other shows for, like, Disney Kids and all that. It's like this whole giant family encompassing thing. And I guarantee how this streaming service is going to work. It's like, hey, 6 months after release, you're going to get like the new season of Gotham on here. It's like, okay, that's cool, but I feel like they need more to get people into it. And I don't know what it is. Personally, I can't think of what it is, but they need something more, like 2 live action shows a year and 2 original cartoons. Personally, for me, isn't enough to warrant a subscription, unless it's like $4.99 a month or less. Or if I could buy a year for $50, then fine. But
that's the issue, though, isn't it? Like, I don't want to pay for this thing with seeing what I've seen. Like, we've seen nothing from the Harley Quinn. There's nothing on Swamp Thing apart from we're doing it in this James Wan. I couldn't give 2 flying fucks about Young Justice, to be honest with you. And Titans, none of that looks like it wants my money. Or that I want to give them money. Like, so it's that weird situation where it's like, I need to see something and maybe watch it before I actually pay for it. But I don't know.
So
I mean, that's the difficult thing here, is that DC doesn't really have anything that could entice people to sign up for the subscription service, because, you know, like 2 live action and 2 cartoon shows with a couple of cartoons or older TV shows is not that good of a value, depending on how much is it going to be offered.
You know, that's like the thing. And like, when I started thinking about it at a personal level, I'm like, well, how do you pitch this? Do you go, look, you can watch Wonder Woman? Okay, everybody that gave
I can do that for free on my TV right now.
Right, I can just, and they'll be like, okay, but we're not putting it on Netflix or whatever. It's like, okay, I can go watch it in 10,000 other outlets that have the movie, because it's the best movie you've put out in the last, since The Dark Knight. So
yeah, like, my biggest thing is, right, this might get me some shit. Who is this thing for? Are they going for a major audience or a small audience? Because at the minute, it's a small audience.
It feels like they're going for a tiny fraction.
Yeah, because like, how many people know about Young Justice in the grand scheme of things? Probably like 5.
It looks like they're trying to cast a wide net to get anybody, but they're trying to get the hardcore at the core. They're trying to get their hardcore DC fans, but from what I've seen, I don't think they're gonna want to watch like a couple of those shows.
Like, it's, from what I've seen, like, the DC people I know, like, they're really excited for Swamp Thing and Titans and Mare and Young Justice, and like, no one mentions the Harley Quinn things. It's kind of like, who is this exactly for? Like, which one of these shows is supposed to be the big wide net?
Yeah,
Can't be Swamp Thing, surely. Like, no one knows.
Most from me, I think it would probably be Titans, and then maybe Harley Quinn, if we actually get to see what.
Here's how I see this, right? Like, I think Titans is being positioned as like that CW type of crowd, right? And that's cool and all, but that's not a huge crowd when your show's drawn in a top of like 3 million views maybe. And this is people that can watch it as part of their subscription. And you got to understand, this isn't going to be as big as that because, once again, you're not casting that wide net. So, Young Justice, I've talked about Young Justice plenty of times. It's one of my favorite like superhero animated series. I love the first 2 seasons, specifically the second season, but that show's time has come and gone 5 years ago. So the people that are going to watch Young Justice are older people like me who want to see conclude. You're not bringing in younger audiences because they haven't been able to watch it anywhere. Like, Swamp Thing is a niche character going into live action on a niche service. That's so weird. Like, I'm struggling to find where this goes.
Hats off to him. The Swamp Thing, like, that's ballsy.
I'm super hyped for Swamp Thing.
It's like there's no real big draw, and I can't see the majority of people having that draw.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't turn into Man Thing.
I mean,
I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
Once it was on TV, I caught 5 minutes. I was like, nope.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. It's supposed to have a theatrical release. And I think the year later it went straight to DVD, and the DVD didn't even make it to the U.S. It went. I think it was Sci-Fi got the rights to show it on TV. And like it was that bad.
That Man Thing movie was something. But I doubt it. I doubt Swamp Thing would end up like Man Thing, but it's.
I feel like with James Wan and them committing straight to a series pickup, I'm like, okay, I have some hope in this because James Wan knows horror and he knows on a cheaper budget. So I feel like that's why they want him in there, because Swamp Thing has to be that. My big problem is where is the big... What's the big get for this? Titans, maybe. Maybe that's your biggest thing you have going. But once again, I feel like you need something that's like Smallville season 11 or a Smallville movie or something that people know a little bit more, that's more recognizable, like something with Superman or Batman or something, you know.
Like, even if you did like a Smallville season 11, who's that for?
A CW crowd would eat that up.
Yeah, but like again, the CW crowd's not that big.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
yeah,
you can't just be shooting for the little fish. You have to like get that big net out there, and I don't know that. They can't do with Justice League because no one's going to want to pay for that.
True.
Anymore. Like, what do they do? And like, you know, I say all this and like everything could be fantastic. Like, I'm not judging it, but I don't know. It's just there's something missing in that lineup, and I don't know what they can do.
Here's one of my biggest reactions to this. When this was announced and they released those logos, I went to check the traction and what big websites are talking about it. The big trades. We're not talking about like the financial ones. When Disney announced the streaming service, Star Wars TV series coming and Marvel exclusive was on like headlines on like CNN and BBC America and stuff, because they understand it's Star Wars TV series. Everybody's gonna watch this. Like, it's Star Wars, a TV series, and it's this Disney service. This, you shoehorned yourself of a fraction of a niche audience to a fraction of that. Like, I'm struggling to understand their marketing for this right now.
Because with Disney, they have the backlog to back it up for adding stuff to the actual service, aside from the exclusives and the new series that they're going to be showing.
Yep.
It's really like there's something like I was about to say, like, why not put the Watchmen show they're doing on there? And it's like, well, that's not really like, yes, people in our circles know what the hell Watchmen is, but do people in the wider circles know what Watchmen is?
Yeah. So here, I'm looking right now. So realistically, what you're going to have on here, currently that aired before, that's going to get like on there, right? They're going to put up Powerless and Constantine, because of course they are. Human Target and Birds of Prey from the WB. Lois and Clark are guaranteed to be on there. Swamp Thing, the original series, will come out probably in the lead up, but probably after, I would say, the series, so they don't conflict people. Superboy, the 70s Wonder Woman, and Shazam. Shazam guaranteed, I guess, comes out after the movie. And then you have the original ABC Batman series, Adam West and the Adventures of Superman, the old 50s one. So it's a lot of nostalgic stuff. And then you go to CW, what's going on? You got, like, you know, your Arrow and your freaking Flash and all that, and you have Krypton on Sci-Fi. And that's all cool and stuff, but I feel like you need more, just because of the virtue of what it is.
Because like from what you said, like there's only a couple of shows that I would be interested into watching, but I have Constantine on
Yeah,
Blu-ray,
same.
so I don't need that. And then like some of the old shows, like the serials of Superman and Batman and them, I could probably find it somewhere else.
And I'm sorry to say it to people, like, you're not going to get me the $5 a month to watch Adam West Batman. Like, come on.
No. And it's all well and good them having all the back catalogue on there, and I kind of expected it, but is this now just a dumping ground?
That's what it seems like to me, yeah.
That's what it feels like with all that. So I don't know. They need something big, and Titans could be that. I could be completely wrong about that show, but I don't know. No.
I feel like you need to greenlight, like, give us a 6-episode Batman miniseries or something, like live action. Like,
why aren't they even continuing Constantine?
right?
Like, why have the fucking thing on there? What's the point if you're not going to carry it on?
Oh, he's becoming a normal cast member in League of Legends. What the hell's that show called?
Yes,
League of Legends and Constantine is going to be.
That's a game, man.
He's now on a mobile game.
Legion of Heroes, Legion of Guards. What's that show called? Legends of Tomorrow. That's the one.
He's like so trying to get through all.
I quit that out at season 1. I'm sorry. I tapped out.
No, at least if you brought Constantine back, you'd get it's a smaller crowd, but it would add to all the small crowds that you're trying to bring in.
Imagine the dedicated vocal minority that would make sure everybody knows Constantine is coming. Like, that would be a smart decision, but I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I think my main problem is there's no variety on this. Like, yes, I suppose there in a sense there is, because there's animated, there's the live action, there's tons of different characters, but it's it's nothing overtly new, and nothing we haven't really seen before. Maybe Swamp Thing, I suppose, but it's just not that hook, and it's like I just don't care.
I mean, I'm going to wait till San Diego Comic-Con. I guarantee they're going to have a blowout there, and then I will pass official judgment when we get the Titans trailer and stuff, and when they announce the pricing. If it's anything over $4.99 a month, you're dead on arrival. That's,
I do know one thing, maybe, is that if the Teen Titans Go movie is a hit, I can guarantee you it'll be on that service.
Oh, exclusively on there? Yep.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
I suppose that's one way, but then why launch it now, because I assume all their big movies are going to be exclusively on there. Because why wouldn't they be? But it's like, why not?
Hey, kids, it's Batman and Robin anniversary.
Yeah, because they have that, and then that potentially Aquaman too. But outside of the opening window, they don't really have anything.
No.
See, if only Justice League was good and it made money,
yeah,
they could be like, this is the only place to watch Justice League.
Yep.
Womp womp.
So that's it for DC talk. We'll be back with more news when it happens, and stay tuned, guys. Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp. They're coming to the MCU. They're sandwiched in between Infinity War and Avengers 4, and we've heard a lot of stuff the moment Infinity War hit to now, just talking about how there's going to be tie-ins directly with both of these movies into the bigger MCU and into what's happening in this other movie, but we don't really know in what way, if that makes sense, right? So, I guess the big question here is, with these movies sandwiched between 2 Avengers movies, do you think they can maintain that momentum that people have after Infinity War?
I think so, because people, from what I've seen, people are now more excited to see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah.
Did the Ant-Man's opening solo, because people were like, who's Ant-Man? And then,
I've seen... It's kind of 50-50 from what I've seen. People going like, why would I want to watch Ant-Man after that? Like, you can't go back down. That's when people are like, yeah, thank God for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I need something to lift me up after having
because you got an ant on the drum set.
Amazing.
But it's... I don't know. It will do fine. No,
I don't know. It's like you can see it from both sides. Is that people, for whatever reason, want to see more Ant-Man. And, because I think was it during their after initial opening trailer TV spots, they had the crew from Infinity War hear the cries from fans saying, "Where if this is all happening, where are Ant-Man and the Wasp?"
I feel like that's the big thing because people are going to want an explanation. And from some of the rumors going around out there, it's like this movie could be way more directly tied into Avengers 4 than any of us are imagining. And I've seen that echoed through a bunch of like articles and stuff. And I'm like, so could it actually be the setup to Avengers 4 and we just aren't ready for it yet? Like,
I mean, you guys would know before me, so.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
So
Yeah.
I found out why exactly.
Why? Because I thought it'd be like the Incredible. That's the only thing I could
Right.
come
Well,
up with.
here's the thing. It's a combination of things. It's the World Cup, and last time the World Cup was around 4 years ago, the box office in the UK saw a 58% drop.
whoa. Damn.
And there's 3 movies that moved. We're getting Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom early, so it's coming out before everything.
Okay.
So Ant-Man can't go there. Incredibles 2 is being moved over here to the 15th of July.
Okay.
So Ant-Man and Wasp can't go there. So they have no other choice but to put it.
Yeah, they're kind of backed up into a corner, I guess.
So you can blame
You could have
football.
put it at the end of July to make it a bit better, but whatever.
So you can blame football, Dan.
I'll blame Warner Brothers. I'll blame Pixar. I'll blame three.
But Pixar's Disney now.
Yeah, but it's not Marvel Studios. I'll blame Pixar.
Yeah, true. Just blame Pixar. Well,
A lot of them.
you know, I don't know. I feel interested about Ant-Man and the Wasp a lot more after Infinity War, and a lot of my friends have echoed the same thing. Captain Marvel, on the other hand, have you seen, like, after Infinity War, she, like, jumped to #1 on Google searches? People...
Well, yeah, because like as soon as I came out from the theater, people were all, "What's that sign?
Yep.
What does that mean?" And I'm like,
See, I would have had that if someone didn't shout Captain Marvel, so I assume everyone in that theater knows who that was.
"Yeah, probably." Because a lot of people were saying, "Who's that? Who's that?" coming out of the theater, and I'm like, just telling my friends, like, "It's Captain Marvel." I'm like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Google it."
Yeah, Google that.
I don't know. It's weird because the way they're marketing Ant-Man and Wasp, it doesn't look like it's set after Infinity War,
Not at all.
but it very well could be.
Yeah, because they don't want to reveal it in the marketing. I think that's the thing, right? Like, and since they are traveling to like the quantum realm, and they've already teased heavily multiverses are being introduced in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm like, how does that exactly factor into everything? Is Ant-Man and the Wasp going to be like this giant, like, oh wow, that's the way you're taking the franchise after we watch it? Because I feel like it could shock everybody, honestly, the way they're going to handle that movie.
And so I imagine they have something. But like, there's this rumor going around, and people are going, "Oh, it's confirmed that the first act is before Infinity War, and the next 2 are after it." I doubt it. They're not going to have a massive time skip halfway through.
No.
Because like the one thing I do know is that they're probably taking it from Scott's last run where he was trying to open up a security service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the same.
Oh, totally.
XCOM. Yeah. So they're definitely taking that idea. I don't know. I don't know. Do we even really know what it's about? Like, sure, we've got like the espionage stuff, but
Yeah, because like from whatever trailers we have, it's just the security service thing, and he got on house arrest for helping out
And
the cat.
stolen pimp technology again. Someone's trying to steal it again, so... But
and getting Janet back from the quantum realm.
Right, so we got the 3 things going on, and then going on to Captain Marvel then, there we're looking at, obviously, the Skrull-Kree War, and then the big story with her is, this movie's got to explain why Nick Fury this entire time has had a pager that can call her, but he never decides to use it up until this moment, so clearly Captain Marvel, in some way, has got to tie into the whole disappearing thing, because that's the reason he wants to do it. So, like...
Well, with the set pictures, did anyone when they saw Nick Fury with hair, it reminded me of Mr. Glass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I know he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just don't know. Like, I'm a bit lost to how Captain Marvel hasn't showed up yet with that, and like Captain Marvel has to build up that part of the movie now, being like, here's where I was.
In space to Earth, there's a major time difference. So depending on how fast she gets here.
Yeah, But then you say that, like, the pages, she'll be here stupidly late because the pager has to go out now.
True. And don't forget, like,
they're gonna have to jump over that.
Don't forget what people are like forgetting though about this. When they were shooting that post-credit scene for Infinity War, right? Brie Larson was on set for that, so I guarantee her post-credit scene is gonna be that same thing, but from her point of view. And she shows up, then she picks up the newspaper and looks confused. So, like, because
that's interesting actually.
Like, doesn't that make sense? Like, that's the only way you can kind of take it.
Yeah, she comes through it. Everything's all different. She's all confused.
Well, no, that doesn't make sense actually, because the pager's got the red, blue, and the gold, and her suit then is blue, silver, and green.
I feel like they're gonna CG that and just do one of those things, like,
That would look horrendous. I mean, sure, the suit's gonna be CG'd anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like weird about it, but I guess we're gonna find out soon. Not San Diego Comic-Con though, because they're not going to that. So we'll find out more towards the fall, I guess. Which way these two franchises.
At least with Captain Marvel, you can kind of rule out that she's like in the Soul Stone, like everyone thought. Yeah. That theory.
Why would she be in there in the first place?
Well, because a lot of people thought it was going to be in her movie, and that's what the Kree and like the Skrulls were fighting over, and then she gets trapped in it.
What? So they had like Scarlet Witch break the Soul Stone when she pops out?
No, you can get like. I mean, to be fair, popping out the Soul Stone isn't like a stranger to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So.
Well, I didn't say it wouldn't be strange. It was just like, no, here she is.
Yeah. So I guess that'll bring us to the end of that topic. We'll talk more about Ant-Man and the Wasp soon, and then Captain Marvel way down the road. Well, the future of the MCU is being planned all the way up until 2025. It's a lot of franchising right there.
I mean, I doubt that's as far as they've gone. I bet they go further.
Oh, yeah.
Let you know they're still on the plan, so.
Yeah. They actually have a plan. So, I mean.
But that's the next 7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, next 7 years. Or 6.5. Right?
Well, so I guarantee some of this was like, okay, this is nothing official in stone, because we know next San Diego Comic-Con and D23, they're going to announce pretty much the next 5 or 6 films after in like Avengers 4, but I think this was more or less we're probably getting X-Men and Fantastic Four and all these other franchises. Hypothetically, where could we put them and what could the turnaround time be? So I think that's more or less what they were talking about, because it seems like those franchises, they're going to be coming by end of next summer. So, it's those early like preliminary meetings that they always have, which we know they have frequently because they openly just tell us, they're like, oh yeah, we had a meeting about it. Here you go. Like, all right. So what do you guys actually want to see out of this? Like, because there's so much.
I want more supernatural. Bring in Blade and Moon Knight.
Yes. Well,
I don't know if you're going to get either of those.
They were teasing
I
Moon
want
Knight.
it. I want it.
I know Feige said there's plans for Moon Knight in the MCU, but what does he consider the MCU? Does he consider that TV show?
It's going to be a TV show. Come on, like it's you know.
There's no way you do Moon Knight right. I mean, suppose you might be able to actually, but I don't know. I think he'd work better in a TV show. But...
Yeah, well, I feel like he lends himself towards a TV show. Like, how do you tell that type of story, especially that it's a more violent character? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't see him work as that type of movie, I could be wrong, I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it to me. But when I start looking at like their future, realistically, we're not getting X-Men or Fantastic Four or Deadpool officially in any form of a giant movie in Phase 4. I think Phase 5 it happens, because by the look of it,
you could end Phase 4.
Yep.
With one of them,
which
probably will be 2025 at the rate we're going.
True, and I also feel like you get into this thing where you're probably going to have Wolverine. I guarantee he's going to be one of the first people that shows up, and he's going to show up in like, I don't know what's a big, like Doctor Strange 2 or something. Work him into a extended cameo or something like that, right? Like, because I feel like that's the way the characters are going to be handled, because that's how they did Black Panther and Spider-Man. So I think that's how you see them first, to test the waters with these characters, to see what their demand is. So
I'm just trying to think, because where would you put a Wolverine cameo? You could maybe do it Captain Marvel, and then you have that link with her and the X-Men, and then you could do the whole Rogue thing and everything.
Would you do like Captain Marvel? If they do it ever do another Captain America movie?
I can imagine they'll do another Captain America movie.
And the only other one would be a Spider-Man movie.
I mean,
would you put Wolverine in the Spider? Oh, I mean, I suppose you fucking walk to the
hypothetical here, but what if Black Widow needs some help on her solo movie, and she goes and recruits one of the X-Men that she's been friends with that we haven't seen? Because apparently it's going to be a prequel. It's like, what if she's like, I need Logan? It's like, oh.
I see. No, I think I forgot as a prequel. I think that's 100% setting up Secret Invasion. There's no other reason why you'd have a Black Widow solo movie.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It all depends on what movies are coming out. Because we know they're going cosmic, so I think Nova's a guaranteed.
Yep.
You're gonna get another Guardians. You could quite easily rename Guardians and do Annihilators, especially if you replace Beta Ray Bill with Thor. I don't know. It's weird. Well, it's not weird. It's just kind of.
It's in a weird position. I think that's the best way to say it. You know, like because
before we could we knew where they were going, but now we don't. Like, we know they're going cosmic, but their cosmology is massive. That could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could go Celestials. You're clearly going to go Galactus. You get Doctor Doom when you get those two.
That's true. Yeah, it's like because they're planning these franchises, and we know they don't want to just come out there and be like, all right, we got the Fantastic Four. We're announcing the movie a year from now. Let's go, get the script in. They're going to want to do this right. Same thing with, pretty much everything they got. And recently, Joe and Anthony Russo were even interviewed, and they were specifically asked about, their future. They're like, oh, we're going to stick around for a while. And specifically when asked about Wolverine, he said, we want to stick around to shock people with the storylines and the casting choices. And I'm just like, they already have someone in mind. Like,
oh, absolutely.
They know, and they know it's going to, like, stir the internet pod. It's going to be like, oh, no. Like, what have you done?
You know that, like, Dexter's Lab meme where he's like, I failed you. If you take the little I failed you out, that's the Russo brothers and their casting for Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
I mean, if Marvel can come to an agreement with Universal, they could do a Hulk movie, put Wolverine in that.
They could do Namor as well, but Universal.
Right in the gut. Why?
I'll never understand that. It's like, we'll pay for the movie, we'll make it, you haven't got to do anything but take the box office from it.
Greediness.
We don't get the toy sales.
But how can it be greediness? It's just like, you're getting free money.
Yeah, but they don't get free money from the toy sales.
Yeah, but like, Marvel has to get something out of it. Like, fair. Now, even with Hulk, a Hulk movie now would be huge.
Huge. Like, oh my god, it would make money.
Like, it would have been huge after Avengers, like the first one. Like, now it's it's so stupid. It's literally a license to print money. Like, if you're not going to do anything, give them up.
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. I think it's just because they're a rival studio and they're doing that whole freaking, we have the power, it's in our hands, you can't have what you own. And it's like, I mean, just look, Disney can't use the Marvel name in their Marvel land, so they have to change it to Avengers land at Disney. Like, and it's all because of Universal. That's so dumb.
Well, it's because they came to an agreement. I think it was like within a certain mile area radius, they can't use the name Marvel because they have their superheroes at Universal.
It's so weird.
Forget Fox. Buy Universal. You'll get Fox eventually, or the characters from Fox, wherever they sell or not. So just buy Universal.
I don't get why they don't just buy back the Hulk. Like, they have enough money. Yeah. He's not worth that much.
Well, that's the problem. You can go into a shop with as much amount of money as you want, and you go, I want this thing. They don't either want to give it to you or have it. You can't buy it.
True. But at some point, doesn't a character gotta lapse if they're not doing anything with him?
See, I've had this conversation before, and it's like, I imagine the time lapse were on the bigger characters.
Yeah.
Like, Hulk and Namor weren't big names when they sold them off.
That's true.
No, did Iron Man lapse?
Yeah, because
I don't
Iron
think
Man was like a Universal, and then Lionsgate, and then Avi Arad was like, "I'm bringing this back to Marvel Studios because no one wants it." So,
So like I'm the contracts must have had like there must have been different contracts and whatever for each different character because
Yeah.
otherwise they would have had it by now.
that's true. And like when I start looking at the landscape of the MCU franchise, I mean, you could still feasibly work out a X-Men or Fantastic Four cameo into Avengers 4 if you wanted to. They're going to be doing reshoots for that movie. Like the rumors are around
No way.
January, February.
No way.
You don't think?
No.
I think a
That movie
post-credit
probably-
cameo could work.
That movie's out in a year. If they can't touch them until the summer of next year, there's no way you're going to get that.
I mean,
'Cause they're saying when's it going to be finalized? The summer of 2019. That movie's going to be out.
yeah.
Unless they're willing to pay the money to get sued for using those characters, which they probably could afford.
Right, unless they're willing to work out maybe some sort of agreement behind the scenes, but they know it's all going to be
sure.
officialized.
Unless, like, they could, for all we know, I imagine they could have done a deal to maybe use something in Avengers 4. I don't know. With the way Infinity War's gone, I don't know if there's room and it would be legitimized and everything to have it something like that in Avengers 4.
True. I think you could have like a passing line though. I could say if Avengers 4 does end with like the whole they got the stones and they're like, well, they're not destroyed, they're still here. We gotta like piece them out through the universe. I could see a passaway line kind of that was in like Ant-Man and the first Ant-Man. We're like, we got a guy that swings, a guy that crawls walls. It was kind of an indirect Spider-Man reference, even though it wasn't meant to be. Like, I could see them being like, hey, want to give this to the professor upstate New York? And like, wait, are they? It's like, I could see a passaway line like that they toss in there, but...
Yeah, but see, I don't know. That doesn't feel like the Russo brothers to me. Like they always seem so focused on what they're doing now and the story they want to tell. I think
That's true.
because they've had so many opportunities to do stuff like that, but
Yeah, they haven't really taken
I don't
them.
know.
Because they don't need
No,
them,
I-
so...
Yeah. So I have no idea where Avengers 4 is going to go, so I have no idea how you could fit in any cameo from anyone
True.
else. Because all we know is it multiverse? Is it time travel? We don't even know that. All we know is Ant-Man is on set of Avengers 1. And
Yep.
Tony's with S.H.I.E.L.D. So anything could be happening.
Anything.
If nothing could be... I'd like to think that they're going to be putting Ant-Man in every single Marvel movie.
I'm down
And
for
just be
that.
like, he's not. You didn't see him because he's tiny. Make a movie around that one meme. Like, why not? Fuck it.
Why not? Why not?
Throughout one whole movie, he was just tiny. He get
Yeah.
after credit scene of that happening.
Oh, I thought we were already on that.
Now we're
Yeah.
Avengers 4 speculation. We kind of just segued into that one. So let's talk about
That's why I
Avengers
started
4.
That's why I started talking because I thought I completely
Yeah.
forgot what topic we're on about, and it's just like, oh yeah.
All right, so what do you guys think after Infinity War, Avengers 4 speculation? We teased this in the Spoilercast where we're going to talk about it. Which way do you take this franchise now that it's this insane and this balls to the wall? Like, where are you going with this?
I'll let someone else have a go while I
Okay,
think for
so
a second.
here's my honest opinion. Avengers 4 is going to be a soft reboot. Like,
Oh, see, I can see that, but I don't know if that's them.
yeah, like I feel like they don't want a Days of Future like Past and Fox themselves, but at the same time, it would be pretty ballsy and you kind of open yourself up to a new universe. Like then you can explain why mutants exist and all that without really ease.
But there's so many other avenues you can take for mutants. Like you could do the 1610 thing. You could quite easily
True.
do the thing no one knows and cares about, and that's the whole celestial thing. Like, sure, that kind of makes them a bit more human-y, but you can tie them that way and it puts them into the space category. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like there has to be a reason why the original 6 are alive.
True. Yeah, that
And-
has to be a thing.
And is it a coincidence that there's 6 stones? Who knows? Maybe they all get a gauntlet and they all form an Illuminati and do the whole Guardians one thing where they all hold hands and have a stone.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hulk gets 2 gauntlets.
Yeah. Why not? Ant-Man could be the seventh one, and you can bring in the seventh stone. That's how you beat everything. Who knows? That's another thing. Thanos had a sword in those marketing pictures. He didn't have a sword here at all.
No,
Fuck
no.
you.
Well, a few things were clearly cut, and it's like going into Avengers 4. I feel a lot of like anxiety building towards the movie, not because it's like, oh no, what are you gonna do? It's like the anxiety's there because for the first time in the MCU, I'm unsure in which way they take it in. Because every other movie, you're kind of like, I kind of get where they're going, but this one, every writer, everybody involved with it, they're like, no, everything you think is wrong. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, thanks, no. That's cool.
I need to know I'm right to sleep. Don't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, don't tell me I'm wrong. No.
I know, because all we know is that one set, or those set pictures in the set video of Ant-Man in Avengers 1. So there's something time travel-y. How they do it, I haven't got a clue. How does Captain Marvel play into that? I don't have a clue.
Again, I want people to point out, I remember we talked about this a year ago when freaking Mark Ruffalo spoiled the ending of Infinity War. In the next interview following that, the next day, he literally says Avengers 4 is about time travel. And like we've talked about that too, and it's like, are people just forgetting that, and people are gonna start talking about that when Avengers 4 has aired? Be like, oh, 2.5 years ago, Mark Ruffalo spoiled. I'm like, look, he openly said the movie was about time travel. So I'm gonna take him at his face value, considering just by looking at his track record, he spoiled other stuff.
Everything.
Yeah, so I'm willing to believe, it is gonna be time travel. And the thing is, it's like, is it gonna be exact time travel, or are they going to touch upon the whole multiverse thing, which they've been so heavily hinting at in, Doctor Strange, and even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is touching upon that. So,
well, they said Ant-Man and Wasp was going to open up that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've had a hint with it with the quantum realm, and this is actually going to open up the multiverse completely.
Yeah,
because that would explain why Tony's in S.H.I.E.L.D. gear,
right?
Not what he was wearing in Avengers 1.
Scott went to another universe where Tony is the head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, possibly.
Yeah.
It'd be fun as well, because you can really see what these actors can do.
Yeah, different roles completely, which I like that aspect of it. And that's the thing. It's like, are we going to see how Avengers 4... Is Avengers 4 going to play out the event of the first phase of MCU, but in a completely different light? Like, that's kind of cool, too.
See that. I think there's definitely gonna maybe retcon some things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessarily gonna be like a soft reboot.
And then there's also the whole aspect of, remember, Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal both confirmed, like Spider-Man Homecoming, which takes place literally like minutes after Civil War.
It's 2 months, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, because you have that whole scene that opens up with him with the camera and stuff, and then it does the time jump. They've confirmed that Avengers 4 leads directly into the opening of Spider-Man. So when he leaves Avengers, he's literally quite going to swing into his own movie. They're like, no, it's like a connective tissue there. I'm like, okay, so now you got me wondering even more on what the hell that means. Like, because
what's going to happen is you're not going to see Peter's face through like the third act of Avengers 4 and the first act of Spider-Man 2. And he's going to take it off. He's going to be a black Latino kid. Retcon.
Oh!
It's going to be like, huh, that's different.
Yeah.
Was he always like that?
Everybody just acknowledges it. Hey, Miles.
There's just pictures of white Peter on the side, like, huh.
Yeah, who's that? Well, I feel like this is Avengers 4 is going to be. I feel like they're also underselling it in some way. They're like, oh no, Guardians 3 is going to kick off the next phase. I'm like, yes, it is, but Avengers 4 is going to bookend and kick off realistically everything that's going on. So there's a lot of stuff I feel that they're playing very coy about, and it makes me wonder on what the future holds for everything, because they're definitely not they're not being as secretive, because I think like they're very confident, and the fact they could hide Red Skull from us just makes me think even more. I was like, oh no, now I'm like looking at everything.
It helps with Red Skull that no one guessed it.
Yep.
Like, sure, people are like, oh, Thanos could bring back everyone, but that's not what happened.
I mean,
even Forbes talked about the Red Skull and the spoiler thing.
True, and like at this point, I'm expecting Avengers 4 it's like an alternate universe, and we're gonna see the Mandarin, like the real one, so everybody can finally shut up. Like, watch Ben Kingsley come back as a real Mandarin. I'd be like, oh, like,
that'd be cool.
And I could honestly expect that at this point. Like, it's completely what the universe has done now. So,
yeah. See, my biggest thing right now is I'm so focused on how they're actually gonna win this situation than what comes after it. Like,
Yeah.
I can wait for what comes after it. I need to know how they're going to win because I haven't got what they've done in Infinity War. I don't know how.
yeah.
Like, how do they win? Because they can't time travel off the top of their heads unless it literally is Ant-Man takes him through the quantum realm, and they come out of different multiverses, like, and they get a different stone.
See, yeah, that's the only thing, because it's like Thanos still has the gauntlet and stuff. So, are you telling me?
And it still works because he teleports back to the farm.
True, it's just like that one is heavily damaged. So it's like, are you telling me that less characters are going to defeat him after he didn't even see them all coming the first time, but he was still ready? It's like, no, like this dude is ready. You can't defeat him with less people. So like you're saying, are they going to just like multiverse and they end up in another universe and stop him early on? And they're like, well, the universe we came from is actually destroyed. No, that's gone, but here's our universe. It's like, and then that's got to have an effect on everything that trickles down through the TV show. So can you imagine that headache? Like, oh my God. Yeah.
But like, I can honestly see it where Ant-Man, I know it goes, everyone's be like, but the stones don't work like that. Like, I can honestly see Ant-Man going to different multiverses and getting stones from different movies. So we'll go back to Avengers because Avengers had the Mind Stone. We'll go back to Age of Ultron because Age of Ultron had 2. We'll go to Guardians with this and whatever, the Dark World, and he'll just get the stones and then they'll use that. Because how else do you win against that Infinity Gauntlet?
See, and it all ties in. Ant-Man was there for all the movies. You just didn't
exactly,
see
yeah. And then you just get the special deluxe editions of the movies where you see the stones just bobbing along. It's like, oh, what's that, man? But I don't know. That's just the only thing I can think of right now.
Yeah.
It's probably nothing like they're gonna do.
Nope. Yeah, we have no idea. But I guess that was our Avengers 4 speculation. If you guys have your own thoughts, ideas, theories, I don't know, just anything you can think of, just toss it in the comments and we'll talk about it if there's anything crazy that might be real. But at this point, anything really could be. So, you know.
I mean, literally anything at this point.
Yeah, open season.
Your guess is as good as ours. Like...
Yep. Yeah, that brings us to the end of the podcast. We made it through another one. Yeah.
It's a nice hour long.
Yeah.
58 minutes.
There you go, people. You finally have it. It's not one of our shorter ones, which people complain about for some reason. Make these longer. Okay. There you go.
I mean, you make it longer than
you get the others to say, make them shorter.
Yeah.
You can't please everyone.
Nope. So, yeah, realistically, what month are we in?
May.
May.
Okay, so we got, Deadpool's coming out. So it's going to be a good month also, because now we can just start the Deadpool hype.
I like how you forget about Solo.
Everyone forgets about
I think I'm, like, excited for that and nobody else. That's how I feel.
The reaction to that trailer in my cinema was just dead.
Yeah, that's how kind of was
like,
mine.
I think it's Solo. It doesn't look very good. And it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, because like mine, the only part people liked was Donald Glover's part, and then that was
it's the only part that looks good. It's like,
yeah, I'm confused at that movie because the reaction is lukewarm, and it's not going to do numbers that Rogue One even did. So,
also, fun fact: Infinity War shouldn't actually be out in the States yet.
Yep, we should be getting it this week.
Just like, oh wow. No.
Avengers 4, they need to make sure they can have a unanimous release across everywhere, including China, because they're going to break $1 billion in one weekend if they do.
I mean, they're about to break $1 billion in 1 week now.
Yeah.
With China.
But, like, next year, if it all comes out in the same territory on the same day everywhere, they will literally just... It will destroy any expectations anybody has.
Just give them all your money. Everything you saved up in your life, just hand it over.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
They'll gladly take it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we'll be back next week for another, I guess, probably a shorter episode. I'm not promising a long one because it probably won't be. We're gonna be scraping the bottom of the barrel next week. I can feel it. unless Warner Brothers announces 13 new movies that are never going to get made, which is very likely possible. So
I mean, more than likely, they
Yeah.
had to announce something, didn't they?
now, as we're lucky ones that survived Thanos' purge, we're going to go and reflect on life while the DCEU was wiped away.
Fun fact, I didn't, according
Alright.
to the website up at Dustin.
R.I.P. Richie.
Oh,
Oh.
she tried so hard several times, but he didn't make it.
Have you guys seen the new the new go-to for when it comes to Infinity War? Doing so good and people loving it. Now it's all back to the Dark Knight. Well, it's not as good as the Dark Knight. I was like, oh, good, you guys are hanging on to a decade ago. That's great. That's more power to you guys. That's something.
You hold on to that. Yeah.
You hold on to your beacon that you haven't had a movie as good as that in the last decade. That's something, guys. Oh, I feel sorry for DC fanboys sometimes.
Whatever makes them feel better, to be honest. Whatever makes them
Yep.
feel better.